Hi here. This is a reading for the sign of Aquarius. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread with a Thoth deck, and what we see on the bottom of the deck is going to represent what you don't see coming. And once we get an idea of what the general message of this reading is going to be, we're going to pull 3 cards from the shadow deck to see what's going on in your subconscious and to see if there are any further clarifications we might need. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so today we are tuning in to the sign of Aquarius. So if that is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, or however else you choose to identify with the sign of Aquarius today, you can use that as a way of interpreting the messages that are coming through. And as always, if the details of these messages do not seem to fit, do not force them. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if none of the details are really seeming to fit your life or your situation, that's okay. You can always check your other placements, or you can stick around and see what's going on in the world of other Aquarians. So let's see what happens today. What messages can we receive? Are there things that we should think about? Are there things that we should meditate upon, reflect on, put some thought into? Are there warnings that we might need to receive? Things that we should perhaps try to avoid? Things that we should prevent putting our energy into? Or are there positive things that we should perhaps try to look forward to? Things we should put our energy into? Things that we can try to incorporate into our lives to make them happier or easier, or whatever it is that you're looking for in your situation. What messages can we get today for those who are trying to tune in to the energy of the sign of Aquarius? All right. Let's see what the Celtic cross has for us today. In the present moment, 10 of Swords. So, perhaps there is an outdated mode of thought that we need to let go of. Perhaps there are weights that are holding us back, that are not serving us, that we need to take a closer look at. This is the Sun in Gemini. It exposes the weaknesses of some structure that we have in our lives that needs to either be put down or let go of. But it's all about shining a light on things that, although they may be painful, are things that we need to get away from or put it into. It's not an easy card. It is a card about having to face difficult truths, but the light in that card shows that the sun is rising on the horizon once we get past whatever this difficulty might be. So what is crossing it is much better things. We have victory, the 6 of Wands. So perhaps there is something that you know is before you that you can reach towards and is going to be a success in your life, but it requires you to have to overcome some difficult challenge first to get to that success. Let's see what's around it. Queen of Cups, the 9 of Discs, the Tower, the Star, there we go, there's some Aquarian energy right there. The Fool, fantastic. The Aeon, a lot of them, Major Arcana. The 2 of Wands, and the Princess of Wands. Okay, so let's look at what we have here. A fair bit of Major Arcana. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the Tower, the Star, the Fool, and the Aeon, which this is nice progression right here. In fact, this whole axis looks very, very positive. This is about sort of giving away to what is new and in front of us, There may be a bit of challenge in terms of moving on to this next stage, but it looks like if we really embody the power of the Fool, we'll be able to give in to the excitement of a new adventure here. So, looks really good. The present and the past maybe seem a bit difficult, but let's get through that in a minute. So as I said, we have 4 major arcana. In terms of our court cards, it looks like we have a Queen of Cups, we have a Princess of Wands, and that is it. So we have a queen going into a princess here, so I see a little bit of a sort of getting back to basics, perhaps. And maybe even letting heavy emotions sort of allow us to have a sort of free spirit as we move into the more basic and sort of forward-thinking way of whatever problems it may be that you are facing right now. So looking at our minor arcana outside of the court cards, in terms of earth energy, we have the 9, which is a really great card, right? That's independence, very powerful. In terms of our air energy, we have the 10 of Swords, which is difficult, of course, but it looks like we're going to be able to move forward from that in a really positive way. And of course, there's the sort of free-flowing air spirit of the Fool as well. For our cups, we have the Queen of Cups from our court cards, and that's the only water energy we have. And in terms of fire, we have a 6, and we have a 2. Okay. Oh, and of course the Princess of Wands. So definitely a decent mix of everything here. Not too overly balanced in any way, though leaning a little bit into the fire, which is good if what we're dealing with is a difficult situation. We're getting away from negative thoughts and moving forward into a sense of what's the next big challenge that we can overcome. Let's put an end to past difficulties and move forward to positive growth. So as I said, in the present moment, things are looking a little tough. We do have the 10 of Swords there, the card of ruin. But again, this is not necessarily a bad card. In fact, I feel like it has a lot in common, really, with the Tower, in the sense that it is about taking things that are not working and sort of just breaking them apart so that we can move forward. With whatever is blocking you, the 10 of Swords is really about looking at what the weak points of that structure really are. You know, if there's something in your life that seems to be holding you back from the victory of the 6 of Wands, if you have some goal or something you were trying to move towards, some accomplishment you want to have in your life, the 10 of Swords is the difficult work of looking at why it's holding you back and, really not just analyzing why it's holding you back, but identifying exactly what the weak points are that need to be removed and put down. Okay, so really getting away from that negative stuff that's holding you back. Now, we have the Queen of Cups in the recent past, which is a card of that's really deep emotional connection with something that really sort of nurtures your growth. So with that being in the past, I almost feel like the 10 of Swords is not signaling a complete removal of something from your life. I think it is really about taking something that feels very strong. It's something you really feel connected with, something that really does nurture you, that helps you grow, whether that's a person or maybe it's a piece of your identity that you connect with, or it's some job or whatever it is for you. The Queen of Cups is, to me right now, representing something that you connect very deeply with that allowed you to feel like you were moving forward and continuing to grow in your life. And on the other end of this difficulty, right, we have the Queen of Cups, which is that's the most nurturing energy we can have, in my opinion, next to maybe like the Empress. It's just that this bathing in that comforting, happy sense of being at home and feeling like you are going to be able to continue your expansion in a really positive way. And we have a 9 of Discs on the other end of what may be a very difficult moment in your life, This is independence. This is a card of being successful with whatever you're trying to accomplish and being able to appreciate the success that you were able to obtain through overcoming some difficulty. So I actually really feel like what's happening here in this sort of timeline axis is that there's something that you really care about. There's something that's really important to you that makes you feel sort of whole, without, for lack of a better phrase. It's something that really makes you feel like you are in your comfort zone in terms of like, this is the right thing for me to do. Even further emphasized with the star above everything. It's like this is almost like a dome of happy success, of knowing that you're doing the right thing, you're doing something that you really feel is not maybe not even just helping you, but helping other people. And knowing that that is the path that you need to follow in order to be successful. Now, in order to get to the actual like success in the physical realm, even though we might feel like this is something that's really, really empowering for us, and we know it's our sort of divine path to follow this, to get this victory that takes us to the success, the sort of fruits of our labor that we get from this victory, we have to do the difficult work of figuring out what parts of our life are not helping us achieve this goal. If we are setting this path forward for ourselves, are there things that are preventing us from obtaining that success? And that 10 is all about identifying exactly what those holdups are. And with the tower down here, it's not being afraid to break those things away and get them out of our life. So for whatever your passion is, whatever star that it is that you were trying to follow, this really feels to me like moving forward with the things that you are most passionate about, and taking the time to analyze exactly how to achieve your goal. You know, really thinking through the technical details. It's the 10 is the 10 of swords there. It's from the suit of swords. It is air energy. It's about really putting all of our mental energy into identifying what doesn't work and breaking it away like an old, outdated tower. And that's how we will move forward with victory here. So, although it seems rough to get a 10 of swords as your start, again, I really think this is trying to tell you to be very positive about that and to embrace maybe this is even also telling you that the anxiety that might come along from trying to get past a tower moment should be something that fuels and excites you as you step forward into your success with the 9 of discs there. Okay. And so here, sort of opposite of the 10, which is like as heavy of thought as we can get, just really strong mental energy, then we have very free-flowing mental energy of air that is not really even thinking at all, just, going with the flow. And so maybe part of the idea here is that if we are currently in the energy of the Fool, we know what our star is. We know what we're trying to follow. We know the 9 of discs that we're trying to get to, and we want victory, but we're not paying enough attention to the blockages that are keeping us from getting there. That's why in the present moment we have a 10, even though your general energy is the Fool. So if we want to progress forward and be successful, we want to take the free sort of childlike playfulness of the Fool, but we need to take that air energy and focus it in and get a plan in order so that we can identify exactly where we shouldn't go when we're trying to move towards success. In the Rider-Waite version of the Fool card, he is right on the edge of a cliff, and he could fall off at any moment. And if you're following your bliss and you are trying to reach that happy place in the distance, but you just haphazardly fall off a cliff, well, you're not going to reach your happy place. You've fallen off the cliff. So again, I think the 10 of Swords is trying to be a bit of a warning that says that if you want to avoid the destruction of a tower moment, then you should try to figure out what things are the particular hang-ups that could lead you to falling off of that cliff. And then we avoid them, and if there's something that's actually blocking us, then we actually destroy them from our lives and move forward, and we take the tower down ourselves rather than getting stuck inside of the tower as it goes down. Okay, so that's what I think this is. This is a warning that You know, follow your joy, follow your happiness, move towards the things you want to move towards, but do so in a smart way. And that is what allows us to walk through the gateway of whatever is challenging us. If we figure out what it is that's not working for us, that's causing us anxiety, you know, then right before the 10 is the 9 of swords, which is the card of anxiety. If we identify where those anxieties come from and try to stop them before they affect us, that is like breaking open a cage that is this doorway that we move forward to into this happier version of our life. That again is that success and independence that comes with that 9. Okay, so now with the challenge being the 2 of Wands that we're trying to pass through, again, these 2 cards in particular to me, these are like gateways, right? So we're in this free, happy place as the Fool. Maybe we don't even see what the dangers of the 10 are. That's why it's in our present moment, is there might be things that could keep us from reaching the joy we want to reach at the other side of this gate. So if we take this energy of the Fool and become a little bit more focused, we can move on to a better version of our life and begin a new adventure. And as I had mentioned previously with the Queen and then ending over here with the Princess, right? It feels like we're going backwards along the timeline in terms of like the aging process. And I think that, as I had mentioned previously, that is a call to say that perhaps we need to get back to basics. Maybe we do want to embody the energy in the Fool in the sense that we want our life to be as simple as possible. And if you want to be able to safely live a life that's as simple as possible, you have to cut out the things that could be potential dangers for you. And that's a challenge. It's not pleasant. Looking at those things and getting rid of them in your life can be rough. That's why the 10 of Swords is a painful card. And I think that's what the challenge is here, is to go through a sort of, the passageway that you want to go through is to stop and look at exactly what's not working for you and get started on the work of trying to maybe clean up some of the clutter. You know, maybe you're currently in a place in your life where you're not thinking as clearly as you would like about where it is you're headed or what you're trying to accomplish. You maybe have a star that you're moving towards, but the pathway towards that star is not clear. So I think the 2 is the challenge of getting started with that journey by making a more coherent plan rather than just haphazardly hopping from one thing to the next. Take the time to sit and think about what it is you're trying to accomplish. And like I said, we want to be in this energy of the Fool. We want to just let go and move forward, but that can only be done if we figure out if we figure out what are the pitfalls that could come up in front of us, identify and remove them, and then once we remove those things, then we can just leap forward into the future with that carefree passion of the Princess of Wands there, right? We can let the air of the Fool then fuel that fire that is projecting her into the future. And it's like we take this air energy, we put to rest the things that are not serving us so that we can find the victory from this 6 of Wands. And then that fire that's lit with that victory together with the air energy of the Fool fuels this fire so that like a bullet shooting out of a gun, right? It just pops right through to this new era, goes past this gateway. It's like right? You almost see like a bullseye there. You know, we're trying to identify exactly what to aim for. And the only way we're going to be able to really get a good view of what we're aiming for is to clear away the clutter that's represented by the 10. And then once we are free past that, then it's just smooth sailing from there. So take away the things that aren't working for you and let yourself, you know, take that free, carefree energy and use it as fuel after you've cleaned the clutter that's holding you up. And that's how you'll get to that star you're really searching for and be able to appreciate the success, if the 9 of discs, of the victory that you achieved by getting rid of whatever it is that doesn't serve you. So I feel like I'm almost sort of repeating the message a little too much here. So let's maybe move on and see what we don't see coming. So we have a Princess of Swords. Okay, so For me, the Princess of Swords really represents sort of getting. It really comes back to what I'm kind of saying here. I feel the Princess of Swords, I usually describe it as sort of readying the stage for whatever it is you want to accomplish next. You know, trying to figure out a little bit of your own identity and trying to create a space in which you can be successful in whatever it is you want to accomplish. She is sort of cutting away the things that are in her immediate vicinity, trying to clear some space to be able to let the energy of air sort of have some room to breathe. It's like carving out a nice little bubble so that way whatever it is you're trying to build has a space to sort of comfortably live in as it continues to grow and move forward. So I think this really is emphasizing the way I'm trying to emphasize what the Ten of Swords is really saying here in terms of clean up the clutter, clear your mind, make a plan, get rid of the things that don't work, and then once you've done all of that initial work, that is the key victory that is going to allow you to light a spark and move forward freely into the next adventure, whatever that might be for you. So, all right, let's see what the shadow deck has for us today. All right, so what's going on in our subconscious? Watch us get like an Ace of Swords or something in here. Or maybe a Chariot. I could see a Chariot being a nice way to sort of symbolize this decluttering process I'm describing. With that implied forward movement. So let's see, we get Queen of Swords, okay, yeah, a Three of Wands, and a Knight of Swords. So we have a Queen and a Knight, which would be the, yeah, so that would be like the sort of mother and the father in the suit of swords. There's the sort of, So we've got sort of the idea of the knight being the energy of projecting forward whatever it is that we are thinking about, and the queen being the sort of, I feel like what this is saying is with the Three of Wands in the middle, we've got a pairing here, which is implying a certain level of balance between the masculine and the feminine here, and together in between them is the Three of Wands, which is this forward movement. So again, with the Knight, it's like actively wanting to progress forward, and the Queen is sort of doing the care and work of making sure that you are seeing the things that you need to see before you go on the quest that is going to be led forward by the Knight. So they're a pairing that needs to work together. Like I said, the idea here is we want to move forward, we want to progress, and it's a Three of Wands, so it really is a progression in terms of a sort of like fuel forward. It's the path that the princess is trying to take forward there. So again, I think this is like representing the motivation to really put in the time to clear your thoughts and then to take those thoughts forward with you. The Queen is doing the work of sort of helping to prepare us as we, do the groundwork for moving forward with whatever these ideas are for you. I don't know. I hope that makes some sense. Like I said, this really is the pairing that when they come into union, they can progress forward with that Three of Wands, right? It's this balance of the active energy to move forward, and this is the passive energy preparing us as we get ready to move forward. And when those come into perfect alignment, then we can progress in a nice positive way. And again, representative by the Princess of Wands is sort of the manifestation of this work in our head. So, the Knight here, I think, is trying to help the actual act of cutting out thoughts and ideas that aren't serving us. And the Queen is the act of trying to identify what those things are that we need to get rid of. And then when those two things work together, the analyzing of our thoughts that are not productive and the actual clearing of the thoughts that are not productive, that is what then gives us the ability to project forward and have this much more carefree attitude as we approach our problems because we know we've done the work to take care of them. Okay, so Here with the final card from the Shadow deck, we have a Five of Wands. So what you don't see coming in your subconscious is the sort of noise of competing passions. So with the Ten of Swords representing us trying to identify the things that aren't working that we can let go of, these are the actual sort of conflicts in our mind. The things that are saying, oh, you should do this, no, you should do that, no, you should do this, no, you should do that, and not knowing which passion to really follow. The Queen of Swords will allow us to sort of really honestly look at those different passions and identify which ones to let go of, because there's 5 here, and we will be able to move forward as we let go of the ones that are not working for us. So it's like there's the 5, we need to let go of 2 of them so that we can get to the 3 that allows us to expand forward and use that power of the Knight to really push that in a forward direction. So yeah, I hope that made some sense. Hope it wasn't too repetitive of a message. Again, the idea to me really is just identify what doesn't work, let go of it, and move forward. So hopefully that was a constructive and helpful message for you. But yeah, that's all I really have for you today. So as always, please like and subscribe if you have not already. If you have any comments or feedback or anything you would like to share, please leave a comment down below. And if you know anyone who would enjoy or benefit from this or any of my other videos, please feel free to share them as you see fit. And as always, if there are other messages that came through with these images or any of the things that I said, please let your intuition help guide you with those messages and receive the message as you need to hear it, so that you can overcome whatever challenges you're currently dealing with in your life. I'm just here to help facilitate sort of stringing together the energies behind all of these cards and helping you get a sense of how they may sort of represent a particular manifestation of these ideas in your personal life. But that's all I have for you today. Like I said, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.